Hey guys, welcome back. Session
Yep.
46 of Materia. Last session, the group had left a set of hills that they had been camping at and traveling through, where they started to notice more and more of the undead presence cropping back up, and the animal life that had started to return started to recede again, as this was a section of Deep Root that is uncharted territory for the group, beyond the Hag's Hut. Following Pebble as best they could, the group made very good progress working together, and for 4 days traveled fairly well. Some little discoveries were made, such as that the environment itself is draining and taxing on Little Pebble, and the group did decide, mostly Rock, did decide to go ahead and allow Pebble to stay in her pocket dimension. Utilizing what travel skills you guys have, Davis's ability to chart maps, you still believe you guys are on a very good trajectory, traveling through more and more undead. As nights come, more undeads. And so much so that as you guys are using your tried and true travel method through the swamps, where once they start opening up, which is summoning the Bray and ritually casting Water Walk, that even going at a fast pace, there still were some hairy encounters where, the Brays would get spooked, people would fall off, and you would need to defend each other to be able to run away from the zombies. That being said, multiple times you guys had successfully evaded it using what resources you've had. The ability to gather food, and that is very limited here. You guys are starting to rely on rations and lawbearer biscuits and conjuring water, uh, but you still press on. And in the last night, which is day 74 of this adventure, the group had camped on a hill, a larger hill, one of the probably the largest hill that you've camped on to date. And it had large trees on it that are missing their leaves, and the color palette throughout the area is of the grayish red, grayish purple, grayish browns, grayish green. Everything seems to be just kind of sucked of some vibrancy and life. And plenty of those thistle-like, fuzzy, coral-like usnea, old man's beards, cover the trees and plant life. Through the course of the night, Marb and Calusor were doing investigations and like experimentation to figure out the abilities of some of these undead. And you've kind of ascertained that there's a few primary groups: zombies, husks, ghouls, and the group is now also very much made aware that there are, willow wisps. As when the group was resting at night, uh, loud, booming roars off to the distance, which were identified as trolls, uh, gathered the attention of the hoarding undead around the hill, and they ran off in one direction, where some of the group did see and hear, like an astral sort of spectral projection, as a cold breeze whisked through, and a human and a goblin-like zombie from them emerged, almost like a ghost-like apparition of their last few, possibly, memories in life. Following that cold breeze, two, three, a dozen, 2 dozen, potentially hundreds of willow wisps started to out of the usnea and out of the trees and emerge, where the group had quickly learned that these little guys packed quite a wallop, and literally being pushed almost as if by like a wave, just due to how many wisps there were running for safety. The group ran off the hill into the grounds below. Thankfully, most of the undead had been called over by the trolls, and through some interesting course of events, had encountered what essentially is a mother wisp, a massive energy ball of swirling gases, emerged from this small little lake, and these little wisps started circling and almost dancing around it where the group had engaged, seemingly able to defeat this entity as it imploded upon itself, condensing very, very small, and then releasing hundreds of thousands of these little motes of blue, green, yellow energies that fell upon you, fell upon the land, and had to like a restorative, regenerative, a life-giving property. Uh, Reality maybe set in, some confusion came in. Perhaps this wasn't the correct course of action, as the group then traveled back to the hill to, well, wait out until morning, where, as it seems to be the case, the undead become less active. Uh, and that is where we pick up. The group is on the hill, realizing what a dangerous encounter they had just avoided or managed to survive through. But interestingly enough, it was something you would have never expected. Tired, beaten, some of you had been close to death, some of you had actually fallen previously. Uh, you're on the hill, and it's strangely quiet, as you had followed the wisps as they had returned back to their tree and to their usnia to sleep, rest, you're not quite certain. So it's quite late in the evening, probably about 3 or 4 o'clock in AM. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I think Grant and Maya's watch is over, so I'm ready to get to bed. We did a good job. We watch was pretty safe. You know, we're good.
Clearly, safest watch
Oh yeah.
in Menagerie history.
We did. Yeah, no, we had a meaningful conversation and then went to bed.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Interesting enough, as you know, Davis and Grant, you go to bed. Let's see here.
I don't remember who we're getting up for the third watch. I think it's Al.
I have
And...
30 more turns of Spiritual Guardian, Adam. If you try to do some shit to me, I'm gonna.
Jesus.
As the blue kind of spectral, ethereal, snowball-clad soldiers just kind of swirl and march around the cleric of the Lawbringer. Yeah, so as the group is kind of settling down and collecting themselves and dwelling on the events that had happened, Calisor, as you are perhaps the only one with a high enough wisdom. Yes, Calisor. As you're watching the last bit of the wisps kind of truly like harmlessly, like it's extremely slow, you know, the way that they just barely float and they kind of ride the currents and find whatever tree that they apparently call home. Something is not sitting right in the pit of your stomach, and you have conflict within you. You have this question of what you did was right. And more than just that, it's just the sheer silence. And as you kind of stare up at the stars, they don't even twinkle. As you look at the clouds that there are at night, they don't move. As the wind blows, the leaf or the lack of leaves, the branches don't rustle. Something is off.
Is there any kind of nature check that I could do to see what seems off? Maybe grab out my crystal and see if it's like reacting funny to magic of any kind, to see if like magic is affecting nature.
Yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and give me a nature check as you try to maybe pinpoint what could be causing this oddity. Sorry, I'm not in Roll20 right now. 5, 10. With that, you're not quite sure. It's weird. Like, it's almost like nature is not behaving like nature. It's unsettling, and it doesn't necessarily sit with you well. But I guess I should ask, is anyone else awake, or did the rest of the group just try to...
I'm awake.
All right.
I'm awake.
I think I'm probably asleep after shooting rock. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Sleeping well because you
yeah,
shot
I'm
me.
so sorry about that.
Is the arrow still sticking out of you?
Yeah, we took
I
the
mean, I
arrow
told him
right
to
at the
shoot
end.
you,
There.
so.
Oh yeah, technically it was all David's fault. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I told him to shoot. Didn't tell him to shoot you.
You literally did tell him to shoot him.
What? No, I said shoot that thing. And
Yeah,
gestured
yeah.
wildly in a
Even
You
if
said
direction.
shoot him. You didn't specify, and I thought like, oh, he means Simon that's hiding in rock.
Damn it.
Obviously.
I guess I would probably not go to sleep feeling kind of off, and if anybody was awake, so Rock and Al, does something feel off to y'all? Like, do the stars look funny? I don't know. I feel like something's off.
I'll just, with everything that happened, Rock's got a lot going on, so I'll just kind of shrug at Calusor and just like, I don't know, and then just sit quietly.
I mean, I'm still trying to get through everything that just happened. I haven't been paying attention around me, honestly. What
Okay.
kind of stuff are you noticing?
I don't know. Like, thought it was a little strange. When we were fighting that mother wisp, like, mother wisps aren't inherently like, they're more healers of the land and stuff. The way the wisps, the little ones, were like dancing seemed really weird and strange to me. I don't know. The whole situation just felt off and still feels off. I don't know why it would still feel off, but it does.
The three of you can give me a perception check. Rock, if you feel you're so distracted, you could do it at disadvantage.
Yeah, I will do it at disadvantage.
Ooh.
That's a natural one on my prettiest dice.
Nice. Okay, so we got a natural 20 and a natural 1. Okay, so we got a 19 for Allegretto, we got a 28, natural 20 for Calusor, and then Rock.
Cal, tell me the future.
So, yeah, Cal, as you're, having this discussion and, maybe not getting too much feedback or insight, Rock is in his own little world, as he tends to do. And you're having a conversation with Al, and you see Al his ears kind of perk up. And you hear, and then your ears perk up, and you hear the chiming sounds that you heard previously when you had approached the mother wisp, and you saw the dancing, and there was that like little as the wisps were dancing. You start to pick up on that sound, and then Al, as you see this and you look over at Calusor, all of a sudden you just see his part of his face start to get covered in black fur, and his teeth begin to elongate, and then he starts to just drop down on all fours, and then all of you are just sort of junted back, including those of you who were sleeping, into, well, essentially where you guys had been previously. Let me kind of scroll y'all back over. This thing will let me do it. 1 second. There you go. Okay, grab this. Scroll. Boop.
Play Florida, My House. No, not Florida.
Okay, so, and then as you guys kind of all have your vision kind of shunted, Davis,
But
Grant, Marb, as you were sleeping, it's almost like you just all of a sudden wake up and it's that same omnipresent, piercing light that was when the mother wisp had started to emerge from the water. Calsor, you're back in Moorbounder form. Marb, you're standing as you watching this mother wisp emerge.
I'm with Davis. I'm like slapping my chest. Am I in my gear? Am I holding my
are.
shit?
So even though
Yes,
I took it
you
off,
are. Yeah, you guys are completely back to where you were at the moment when the mother wisp had originally emerged. And Rock, as this realization hits you, all of a sudden, that wave of lethargia kicks in as Al would have stopped concentrating on haste. You feel your connection with your hypnotic pattern drop. Calusor, those shadows that were clinging from nature as you had Pass Without a Trace going, it fades. And the mother wisp starts to emerge back from the water, the light again piercing, super bright. I believe all of you should see basically where you guys were at one point.
Yeah.
And then like as the wisps rise, they're dancing around, you hear the beeping and swirling sounds. What would you guys like to do?
shit my pants.
Can I roll something to figure out what just happened?
You gotta be more specific. Not something like, what are you trying to figure out?
Like, how did we go back in
Does this feel like
time?
an illusion?
Did we either rewind in time, or did we hallucinate the whole battle? And
Okay, you can give me a wisdom saving throw to try to figure that
sure.
out.
Does Grant think he's still asleep and he's like reliving a moment or something? Is that
Go ahead, and you can also give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, Davis thinks this is like an illusion.
Yep. Marb, okay, so yeah, as you're kind of pondering and seeing the events that had happened, just briefly.
Did
you
a
come
bunch
to-
of spooky things just show up on the map?
I mean, I see the whiz.
Yeah.
Oh, down here. Yeah, I see some stuff.
Oh, no, bad.
anything?
Yeah, Grant, this isn't time travel. This is just like coming out of a daze. Like you realize Marb and Grant and Davis, because you're with them, what had probably transpired in the last 30 minutes, an hour, didn't actually happen. So with that being noted, I need everyone to go to their character sheets, and I did some math, and I have to yell y'all to fix your sheets. So I'll start with Al. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready?
All right, Al, you get 2 of your bardic inspiration back.
Okay.
You get 1 second level spell slot back and 1 third level spell slot back.
Okay.
And your current hit points are 30, and you are not concentrating on anything. Calusor, you are back in Moorbounder form. You have your 3rd level spell slot back. You
Okay.
never used your Radiant Soul.
Okay.
And your human hit points are at 11.
Okay.
Davis, you never used a charge of your Blink Stone.
Okay. Still, I'll say merit die number.
Okay. You should have 2 merit die used, and then everything
Oh,
else should
okay.
still be
So
there.
I get 3 back because I had used 5.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Grant, you get a 3rd level spell slot, and you're no longer concentrating on Spirit Guardians, and the Drift Globe is still floating by you.
Or my arm,
And-
the ball style? No.
No, because it was down for combat. Oh, and Davis, sorry, I forgot. Your current hit points are 27.
Okay. And I think I still have armor Agathis going then, right?
You have 3 hit points of armor of
That's
Agathis,
right.
yes. Radiant.
Thank you.
Yep. Grant, you have 39 current hit points.
Oh, damn.
Marb, you get a first level spell slot back.
Sweet.
You get a charge of quarry back.
Sweet.
And you are at 35 hit points. This is before you got crit, kind of thing. All right, Rock, you have the most going on.
Okay.
All right, starting with Rock, you are currently in this round, you are in that wave of lethargia. So you don't get a first turn. Your current hit points are 26.
Oh, gross.
You get 2 third level spell slots back.
Okay.
You get a second level spell slot back.
Okay.
Your boots, you never use them.
Okay.
And the torch that you were carrying has now just fallen and been submerged in the water. So you lost your undead torch.
Okay.
And yeah, so as you guys kind of snap to looking at each other, as it's almost like this quick moment of deja vu, you realize perhaps that the last hour or so did not happen. And yes, as the more perceptive of you kind of glance around, I'll just say all of you, since you're all, proficient in perception, you see, well, essentially what you see, I can't tell you from what all your line of sights are, but you do see that there are some shambling, slow-moving undead of different races, different manner of being tattered and worn. Some have arrows stuck in them. Some are missing limbs. Some have broken limbs. All manner of different races. And as the light subsides and fades, and you hear the dancing, swirling, interestingly enough, you see, as the wind picks up again, that same kind of effect where the wind passes by one of them. And for all of you that are able to see the dwarf, for example, who's peppered with arrows, you see a vision of this proud, leather clad with some piecemeal mail and metal armor, wielding a great maul, charging headlong into combat as his last memory is being smothered and just ripped down by the undead. Those of you who are able to see this large Goliath figure and this little gnome kind of hobbling next to each other, you see an image of this large figure, football carrying his injured gnome friend as he's running and eventually falling due to exhaustion as the undead swarm collapses upon them. You see a small little kobold just tinkering away on something. And then the apparition kind of shifts to another perspective. And then its eyes get wide and then nothing. You see, those of you who can see the entity, you see a proud dragonborn with this bone-like collar on, rushing headlong as it starts to inhale this deep breath, getting ready to release its inner bellows. As it does, you see images of it incinerating a number of undead, but the horde is just so many that they eventually push through the fire that it's coming from its nostrils and its mouth as it gets ripped apart. Then you see, for the ones that can see, you see a minotaur bucking and trying to, ram its way through just countless undead, as eventually one grabs its horn, another one grabs its other horn, and they basically with their weight bring it down. And then finally, the ones that can't see it, you see a proud female warrior with long black hair making a stand on a hill, fighting off what undead she can as she swings her greatsword, cleaving one in half. This ghastly undead hand reaches up and grabs her by the hair and pulls her down, as eventually a mob of undead fall upon her, ripping armor and flesh away as she screams in agony, all undead finding their death, and they are just the husks, the corpses, the zombies of their bodies are just standing there staring at the light as the apparitions kind of play out repetitively their last few moments. What do y'all do?
I would like to wild shape out of Moorbounder form.
Okay. Are you going back to normal Cal?
Yeah, going back to just normal Cal.
All right.
All
right. At this point, Rock, the lethargia will pass.
Okay.
And I'd probably... Is a wisp considered an animal? Would speak with animals? If I were to try and speak with the wisp,
I'll
would I
just say,
be able to?
yeah, you have a high enough intelligence, and you're trained in Arcana and Nature. Wisps are not of the animal variety. Depending on the type that you run into, you're familiar with ones that are like of fey nature.
Right.
These ones that you've seen, they seem somewhat fey, but there seems to be a presence that's off about them. You can, if you wish, you can give me an Arcana check to try to determine something about the little guys.
Hey.
Yeah, another natural 20.
Nice.
Wow.
So yeah, in this brief instant of just, a few, where in your previous, recent memory, you had engaged and there was activity and all that, as a few moments pass, the mother wisp is rising, the little wisps are circling, the song and the dance is continuing, more wisps continue to flood in. But Cal, you realize that the little wisps, they're twisted, they're corrupted, they're tormented. If they could be undead, then they are likely undead. Looking over at the mother wisp, she is more of the pure fey variety. She's massive. She's the largest one you've ever even imagined. She must be a coalition or a combination of dozens, if not possibly hundreds, of wisps that have come together to try to create a powerful enough entity to call in. And I guess with a natural 20, the dance, and you're listening with your other previous natural 20 perception, the mother wisp is calling her fallen siblings, kin, whatever you want to call them, and trying to lure them into something. And it looks like maybe she's trying to fix them.
Okay.
As some of these wisps start just junting forward, and as some of them jump through, they just fly through the apparent apparitions of these zombies that have been drawn by the intense light, still not seemingly acting, more just like in a daze.
I would. I was gonna say I would tap, since I'm next to Al and I'm incredibly confused. I would be like, Al, what the what happened? Like, we were just on the hill, weren't we? We got rid of that thing.
I don't know what's going on.
Did I dream that?
It feels real though. Be on guard.
Something magical, something messing with us, maybe. He's like rubbing his Grant's like rubbing his temple, trying to shake the cobwebs out.
Sure. Anyone that is that has proficiency in Arcana or Religion, you guys can give me a check. If anyone is proficient in Survival, if you do not have either of them, you can give me a Survival check, but it'll be done at disadvantage.
Spooky magic shit.
Survival it is, yes. Spooky magic shit.
For disadvantage, sorry.
If you are Religion, Arcana, normal, straight. If you don't have either of them, you can give me a Survival at disadvantage.
Can I take a dodge action during all this?
Sure.
Honestly, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, thematically, that's what I would be doing. It's just like,
On
Yeah.
guard.
I would back up to kind of
Don't
where
fall
Callus
over.
is. And just tell everyone, don't fight. We can't fight again. Just To
Did we
please.
fight
Mm.
before? Like,
I don't know, but don't fight.
You
if
hear
it
the-
comes down to it, I might.
You hear this really low, like. Okay, so let's see. Al, you have no clue what's going on. Calisaur, you're pretty sure that. Okay, so Calisaur, Marv because it was a disadvantage.
I got a
Calisaur and
12,
Rock,
yeah.
yeah. Calisaur and Rock, you're pretty sure that what happened. You're not, and you can't prove it, but you have a strong inkling that when the light came, you didn't. It didn't divert your gaze, and you were basically sucked into an illusion. And in this time, you don't know how much time has passed, but you have been standing here motionless and helpless. It could have been 5 minutes, it could have been an hour, you're not sure. And in this time, some of these undead had shambled up, and then kind of the similar effect had happened. The little wisps are still buzzing by, and you do see that they are still releasing their little jolts, but the mother is essentially calling them into her. And you see every once in a while, like one of these undead wisps gets like flies into her, but doesn't fly back out. And then after a time, as she starts kind of drifting, give it a little bit of time, drifting, you start seeing, because you two are paying a keen eye as the rest of your party is still just trying to figure out what's happening. Let me move this. Token layer. You see a few wisps emerge back out, and they are slightly different. Like the density of light, the intensity, the color, the shape, and they seem to be kind of flying out towards their kin that seems to be attempting to still circle. But they are still giving off static discharges. What are you guys doing?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to approach the mother wisps very slowly. I'm going to put my staff down, and I'm going to approach to kind of just the edge of the water.
I'm gonna follow right
And
behind.
I'm gonna say we're sorry. We mean no harm. While I'm doing this, I'm clutching my little my little coral thing. I say I don't think what we did before was right. I'm sorry. If we can help, let us help. If we can't, can we let us leave? And I'll take one of my little white flowers and I will kind of just plant it just on the edge of the water and say, I leave myself in your hands. And I'll just wait.
And you're saying this in common so the whole group hears you? Understands you?
In common, and just because I will rotate between common, Aquan, and Sylvan.
Okay. So this will take you a few, turns essentially to say. So
That's
what is
fine.
everyone doing as you see Rock kind of doing a display and speaking as the mother wisp is essentially going around, and you still see, like, it seems like every few, 12 seconds, one or two of the staticky wisps get sucked in. Marb, your eyes, since you still have the see invisibility, she's sucking in even the invisible ones that your friends are not necessarily aware of, and you see some more of these, like, now you're starting to pick up some different type of wisps start emerging out of her.
I would definitely like.
So, sorry, I have a quick question. Are the invisible ones the ones coming out of her?
Invisible and visible are, but you're the one that's noticing that she's even interacting with the invisible ones.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead, Cal.
I would probably just yell like, or not. I wouldn't want to like yell it because I don't want to draw too much attention from the undead, but like in a way that everybody could hear me. Just be like, guys, avoid the little wisps. I think they're corrupt. and the mother's trying to cleanse them.
Okay.
And then I would do my best to dodge any little wisps that came close to me.
Ooh, same.
And be like, watch out for the zombies in case you haven't seen them over there.
All right. Let's see. So that's Marb. You're doing anything? You're dodging anything else?
Yeah, dodging and retreating.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself. You're allotted 35. Oh, and
Oh,
one
bananas.
little. Well, Marb, you ignore difficult terrain. So one keynote, and I had to read, and I had to read again. So Marb, the Wilderness Explorer, only refers to you guys ignoring difficult terrain when you're traveling for long distances as a group. Once combat engages, it does not affect you anymore. Like, it's meant for like long distance travel. So Marb, you still benefit from it because of your natural explorer ability, but everyone else you're still affected by difficult terrain. So all this where you guys are in this like brushes and all that, it's difficult to move. It's double your movement. So Marb, you can still move your 35. Being a ranger and all.
Oh. We can move up to here.
Okay. So yeah, as you do pass Marb, you do see that one of the little guys that's staticky does sense your movement. D20 plus. I had this earlier, plus 4. It's going to be a disadvantage, so 15. As you're like kind of moving and you're keeping your eyes out, you just see this little, like a static, like little jolt zap through one of these little ones, and you kind of just dodge it, and then it just seems to go back into the little dance and get a little bit distracted. And now, Marb, I don't know, let's say, what you could see, but yeah, you're very much aware of this one dwarven undead entity, and yeah.
I was able to see the other ones, the Minotaur and the.
Okay.
Wanted to zoom on this guy's picture, but I can't do that.
Which one? Do you want this one?
Zombie gnome.
Oh, zombie gnome? Okay. Zombie gnome.
Yeah. Zombie gnome looks
There you go.
awesome.
Does that work? Did it open it big?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. There's zombie gnome for you. Alright, Grant, what are you doing? As you're like dodging.
Grant.
We can't hear you, Angie, if you're talking. Okay, we'll come back to Angie. I gotta give like all of you little dodging icons. Dodge, dodge, dodge.
I would have also, Adam, like moved away from the wisp a little bit.
Go for
since I know like all of them are going to be moving towards.
Yeah.
I want to like not be right there.
Gotcha. All right, and Rock technically is doing his display. All right, we'll go to Al. What are you doing?
Definitely gonna continue the dodge and keep my head low. I don't like these wisps at all. And I'm gonna give Marb an inspiration just to. I trust you to explore. Be careful out there. It's only 10 feet away, but it feels like a mile.
Gotcha. All right, go ahead and mark off one of your inspirations. Grant, what are you doing? The group is basically kind of watching Rock try to do something and kind of moving away, being cautious.
I was facing the wisp before. I will spin around, looking outwards, and get the shield up, and I will start the spiritual guardians. But nothing aggressive against the wisps, just aggressive against the zombies if they come into range.
Okay, so you're designating wisps as friendly. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and.
For now.
Yep, I understand.
I
So.
think you can change it after the fact.
Yeah,
Wait,
I probably can't change it midstream, huh?
No,
The way it's worded, it's not,
no.
I can't.
You'd have to recast it to change it.
Okay.
But there you go. All right, so there's that. I need to grab one more.
I have a free attack. I might as well hit Calisor or the Drift
Okay,
Globe, I
go
guess.
for it.
Just punch them.
You just punch the drift globe a little bit. You're like, "Fuck you, drift globe."
Action economy.
You got to use it all, right? If you don't use all your actions, you're doing
That's
it
right.
wrong.
Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So as that is happening, the mother will kind of continue.
Does it look like she's
And you
doing that
see
in
a-
response, or is that just like she's kept doing what she was already doing?
Give me an insight check.
Sure. 21.
She is responding.
Aw. What did she say, Rock?
Whatever way. Nothing that you understand. None of you understand what she's saying.
I thought you spoke every language, Rock. What the heck?
I do not. But yeah, Adam, let me know when I can do another action.
Yeah, so one more turn of going around. So yeah, as she's kind of floating around and you see her, she's starting to kind of absorb and draw some of these ones. Some more of the little wisps fly by, and they will just inevitably try to zap some of you guys, unfortunately. Give me a second. Gotta move Marb because this one.
Rude.
Wow, they're little balls of static. And you see that some of them, as they're flying by, like, they didn't seem to give the zombies or the Goliath, the Minotaur, the gnome. They don't seem to give them any mind, and they kind of start wandering around aimlessly, just kind of around the edge of the water.
Oh,
This guy got pinged. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, technically you would. So, Grant, go ahead.
is
Roll
that
me
a bad
some.
thing? Did I just trigger
Little
them?
frosty
They're all
dudes
gonna
are
die.
stabbing him.
They are smacking them with
smacking.
hammers and clubs and swords and spears.
Yeah, so,
My-
wisdom save, right?
It is a wisdom save.
That's a -2. on this
Really?
guy,
I
so
would have
let's
thought
see
they
what
were
it-
really smart.
3d8 of necrotic
Oh, nice
damage.
rolls.
Oh no! Oh wait, they become twos.
They become
10
twos.
total.
10 total. Wow.
10
Even
total
with
of radiant damage.
with a -2, he rolled it. So as he steps in, he seems to be kind of focusing on the light, and your frosting apparition warriors go, and they just raise their weapons and assail it, smacking it. And you see as they pummel it, it gets hit, and it goes, and it seems to release a call. So 5 damage, yeah. And you hear the mother wisps go. And some of the wisps that were initially kind of zooming by y'all, they'll release some static discharge to the response of this. Let's see. So everybody will get attacked once, basically, at disadvantage. So we'll start with Rock. This is because you're not dodging. Rock, you're normal. 19, does that hit you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, Rock, you take 2d8. You take 9 points of electric damage. Davis, you're dodging, so it's a disadvantage. 18
hell
hits.
yeah, it hits. But no crit, hooray.
It consumes your armor with Agathis, and it pops one of these little guys.
Pew! Armor down.
Yeah. Calisaur, you're dodging. Hits you. You take 6 points of lightning damage. Al, you're dodging. Misses you. Grant, you are dodging.
Not dodge. Oh, yes. So, yeah.
You are dodging. Misses you. Marb, you are dodging. Misses you.
Nice.
And then as it does, the kind of the roar, the bellow comes out. The mother wisp, you see that light that she was projecting begins to diminish, almost like instinctively. Rock, you can do something before something else happens.
I haven't done this before, it probably won't do much for us. But I have an ability that allows me to swap out a spell if it's to bring in a divination spell.
Do you need to do it during a rest, or can you do it on the fly?
I believe I can. It takes an action.
Oh, then yeah, go ahead.
So I want to bring in comprehend languages,
All right, what spell are you dropping?
and I will I lost my spells. Here are my spells. I will drop disguise self.
Okay. So go ahead. So yeah, as you're kind of focusing and observing what's going in, the idea strikes you, and you quickly flip through your book, find the page. Go ahead.
Okay, and then that's my action. So then I'm just gonna still wait, just at the end, because I would like to cast that, but I need to do that next turn.
Gotcha. Okay. So as this kind of happens, the light from the mother wisp significantly gets like diminished, and you can hear her once again go as she continues to kind of rotate and fly. And some of her, Calsor, you're very easily picking up on which ones are different for sure. And she seems to be calling these, and then some of her other ones that have emerged from her start to fly out, almost assisting. And then these, now with this cry from this undead dwarf, it seems to have like snapped all the other zombies that you are aware of, and they start to just start moving forward.
Definitely want to cast Radiant Soul and fly up above the wisps and the zombies. So, like, you said the wisps were only like 5 feet off the ground, right?
5 to 15. 15 is probably the highest that you're seeing, because they've kind of come down and condensed. But then if they're around the mother, some of them will be up around 30 plus feet, because keep in mind, she's huge and she's floating and all that.
I still go ahead and cast it and
Gotcha.
fly up into the air.
All right, go ahead and I'll put your wings on. You go ahead and change your portrait, and then we'll just kind of track how high you are. How high do you want to be? You got 30 feet of movement.
I'll go up 20 feet.
All right, so I got 20 marked in your little blue circle, so we can see how high you are. All right, yeah. So as the call comes out and the mother is calling, and now the undead horde kind of zooms in. I owe you a bunch of wisdom saves, don't I?
Can I do my AOO against the one next to Al with my feet?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Dragonborn fails. Gnome fails.
So it'd be like the frosty soldiers are just kind of standing in position, and then they just kind of all do like a Greek phalanx volley at the zombies as they kind of start rushing by.
I like it. So everyone fails except for the Minotaur. So they all take 14 points of frozen radiant damage as this, apparition-like army of frost working as a unit defends the group. All right, Davis, go ahead and give me an AO.
It's 15 to hit, 19 if it does hit.
Oh yeah, which one are you?
The only one that's in my range. This one.
So yeah, as you go to strike it down, you swing your glaive, and it just so easily just cuts right through it. You just lob its head off, and
real?
as you kind of
does it look like an illusion or something?
No, it's meaty. It cleaves through, and as you do, you see that little apparition, the little memory that's kind of trailing off to the side. One of these little wisps just kind of flies up to it and just almost gobbles it up.
Okay.
Al's been really on edge, but when he gets beheaded, he's like, "Damn, Davis!"
Yeah.
And turns his attention to the gnome, but can't stop smiling. Like, what the hell was that? Yeah, I don't like this little dude either.
All right, you can go ahead and stab him if you wish, or do whatever.
Ooh.
Set him on fire.
I will Hunter's Mark him as well.
Okay, so.
Or is this an AOO, or is it my turn? Quote unquote.
Well, I get AOs because of a feat. Like, you guys don't get them just because they come into your range. I do it because of a feat.
But now I'm basically just going in alphabetical order for everybody. So Al, go.
So you're just doing a regular attack, not an opportunity attack.
That hits for sure.
Cool.
And you said you marked it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me them damages.
Okay.
Yeah, as you do, you kind of point your finger and you feel that connection with the spell, and then you draw your rapier and just kind of lunge forward and just kind of like as it's snarling and growling at you, it's low because it's a little gnome. You just kind of pierce your rapier through its mouth and out the other end. Give it a little flourish, and you just see it go, and it just keels over. And then you see kind of the same thing where its apparition is one of these newer wisps comes and just kind of sucks it up. Marb, since you're the next one, like with someone next to you, what do you do?
I wanna slash them. Oh wait, no. Yeah, no, because I still don't have that one. Let me check real quick. My ranger shenanigans.
Dragonborn didn't get a breathe on you guys. I'm sad.
I chopped his head off.
Okay.
They all have their racial abilities,
nice.
so it's kind of fun.
And it's the new ones, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So his breath would actually be good and not shitty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do bonus action to put quarry on orc guy,
Yeah. The Goliath, gotcha.
Goliath guy, and I'm just gonna cut him with my short sword.
Okay.
That I had a thing for close range attacks, but short sword.
Yeah, and your quarry doesn't require concentration.
Very nice.
I have a dagger. Ooh, I have a hammer as well.
Yeah, you're proficient with a short sword. Light hammer, you're not very good with.
Okay, that is 7.
Oh, and this thing, if you do hit it, this thing is damaged, so you do get your Colossal Slayer, but you gotta hit it. Yeah, you definitely hit it.
Nice.
Looks like no sharpshooter on that.
No. So I have to be
Oh, right, yeah, sharpshooter.
throw my short sword.
Hell yeah.
It's like a boomerang. You throw it hella far, so you get momentum on the way back.
Arrow of returning, baby. Let's go.
And I said Colossal Slayer, said D8, and then the D6.
And then a +4.
And then, what's the other one that I always forget?
Oh, Thrill of the Hunt. Do you want to add your +3?
Yeah, +3, that's what it is. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
17 damage.
Yeah, so as you go to stab it, and you do, you make solid, it's going to just kind of like take your short sword into the chest, and it's gonna grunt. And as it tries to push through, as it's like starting to reach for you, and the blade starts piercing deeper and deeper, it starts reaching, and then it just kind of stops moving at the end of your blade. Stone Skin didn't work. Or Stone's Endurance.
Sorry, bud.
All right, Grant.
I will just smack the Minotaur dude in front of me.
All right, go for it.
I will bonus action.
Yeah, on his mark.
Did I enact Shillelagh before?
For the time
our
rewind.
dream went?
You did, yeah. You have Shillelagh going.
Okay, sweet. Then I will smack him and then use bonus action to smack him again.
Okay.
2 smacks.
Gotcha. So roll me 2 attack rolls. Davis, what is the question? Mar.
Not that important.
Let me see. It doesn't miss. It hits.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay,
2
that
hits.
is the second attack roll.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Roll me 2 sets of damages, please.
Oh, no, once per.
It's 3 and 10. 13
Yeah, so-
total.
Yeah, as you do, as it approaches, and you saw that when your Frost warriors went and hammered and slashed at the Minotaur, it seemed to like kind of ram through a little bit more unscathed. And then all of a sudden you brace yourself, dodge to the side as it tries to gore you, and you smash it twice over the head with your hammer, essentially ending it.
Sweet.
And now as this happens, you guys kind of now realize that when you ended that one Goliath, the wisp kind of came over and sucked up the essence of its, apparition. And then this wisp over here kind of flew over here and sucked up the Minotaur. And then Grant, as you've kind of noticed, as all your allies are striking these entities down, your soldiers are actually coming in and providing an additional blow to kind of prevent them from continuing to crawl forward. The radiant damage is mitigating their undead fortitude.
Okay.
So swinging back around the zombos that are still good to go, but we have Rock. You can cast your spell if you wish to.
I will cast Comprehend Languages and see if any of the weird noises the wisp are making mean anything to me.
Okay. Kalisar, what are you doing? 20 feet up in the air.
So I'm going to cast Wind Wall.
Okay.
Basically in kind of like a U shape, from Grant. So
You
kind
should
of
be able
like
to draw, I believe.
kind of out like I'll just do this, kind of out like this,
Okay.
and then up like this. It's 50 feet, so kind of just like
Okay.
do it around,
Gotcha.
and it'll go 15 feet up into the air. So basically, don't know if it'll stop wisps from going through,
Yeah.
but to try and stop wisps from like being able to sting us.
So what you do is basically kind of draw a wind wall like that, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, as Galasaur is kind of up there, he beats his wings, and then this like weird spiral of wind starts to pick up, and it starts to create the sheer wall around you guys of like wind that's howling upwards unnaturally. The Dragonborn's head just kind of tumbles and goes flying. I believe that's everyone's turn. So yeah, now Rock, as the mother wisp kind of drifts off, you hear, ooh, ooh. It's not a language. You don't really understand. You just kind of get the its intent, and its intent is essentially to gather its kin and harvest the energy, essentially. You can go ahead and give me a. Honestly, I guess it would be nope, it would be an Arcana check for you. But this will be your turn.
Yeah, 21 total.
21. I'm not gonna bother putting you into a whisper. The mother wisp is basically absorbing the undead wisp, the willow wisps, destroying them, and taking what energy is there and creating little fey wisps out of it. So kind of undoing the corruption the way that she can. And as you're kind of putting this together, it is absolutely taking a toll on her. So much so that you actually notice that her size has kind of shrunk at this point.
Okay.
All right. So now the undead will move. I know they take damage. Go ahead, Grant. Give me your armies. Fail, and
16.
pass.
No, wait, 10.
10. As the dwarf kind of like lumbers forward, it keels over. As your soldiers, as it like approaches to get you, 3 of your apparitions with spears kind of get to your side and just stab it all in unison, and it keels dead. The human rushes over towards Marb, and as it does, because Marb is focusing on the Goliath, your other soldiers quickly move, stab again. In this case, it's the ones with some swords, ending it. And the little goblin leaps towards you and gets hammered down by one of your apparitions. And all of them, as they fall, you see the different kind of less electric kind of in nature wisps swing over to their last few memories and just suck them up. And then the electric little wisps will fly by you guys one more time and zappy zap. Because it has been, it's their turn. Zoop.
Can they
Zoop.
get through the wall, Adam?
Oh, good point. Forgot these things are tiny. So yeah, these ones can't. They try to, and they just get repelled. Thank you.
Nice.
And that one actually, technically, I think the way that you intended it, yeah, it can't. So yeah, none of them get through. They just kind of get pushed back. And then a few of them continue to go back and try to collect with the mother. All right. So you have just corpses of, zombies at your feet, and you're just watching as these wisps are just being drawn in and sucked into the mother as this wind wall protects you, essentially, as they kind of run into it and then are unable to penetrate, and they start to scatter and kind of break upon it, kind of like, water on a windshield.
Is there any way, sorry, are we still on
You
turn?
can. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any way I can assist the wisp, like give her some energy back, or do I know if it would upset her if I help kill some of the corrupted ones? Like somehow, 'cause I don't want to see her fade away to nothing.
I guess you can. Let's have a check with this be. On the fly, I guess you could give me kind of an investigation check as you're kind of putting the pieces together.
Not great. But not bad. 17 total.
17. You're not sure. You think that she is essentially destroying these little buggers and creating new ones, and you get the sense that it's the energy, especially now that you're seeing the newer ones that are created are going and siphoning the memories, or that energy that happened to coalesce as an apparition of a memory. Perhaps, I mean, the mother wisp has done nothing hostile to you. The new wisps have done nothing hostile to you. The only ones that have been really hostile are the ones that you get the sense are twisted and corrupted. So your chance, you can communicate with the group, but you can't take any other action.
Okay, I'm just gonna yell out, guys, kill the old wisps, the ones that zapped us. Destroy them. We have to help her out. Leave the new ones alone. Just the ones that we dealt with before.
Which, for clarity, is it these or these?
Can we tell the?
Well,
yeah.
That's the thing. So, Calisaur and Rock and Marb, the new ones because y'all had picked up on it. Al, Grant, and Davis, you don't know yet. It's up to the group to kind of pick it out. For
Yeah, what
you
does
guys.
that mean, Rock?
What's going on, dude?
Like, what do you mean, new ones?
What do we do? What do we hit?
Sorry, and I didn't realize that there was 2 that could hit Marb because he's on the other side of the wall. So Marb, 17 and 18, do they both hit?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, you take 8 and 11.
Ooh. Okay.
Could I?
As they would have tried to get through
Can
and
I
then just
throw
kind of
him a
get
heal?
pushed off.
I'll be
Yep,
like,
you can.
Marb,
Just
get
say-
back here to safety behind the wall, and just say, also, you're good now, and you can use 2 hit dice. I'll use 2 merit dice. So on
Okay.
top of your hit dice, you can add 9 HP.
Another 10. Okay.
And then from here, as you guys will fight the wisps, essentially, or whatever you guys decide to do, wisps will go first just because they have the highest dexterity, and then we'll just go in order of dexterity, okay? Just so we don't have to worry about necessarily initiative. All right. Yeah, so Marb, you've got kind of Davis's words pull you back through the barrier.
What is your con? Oh,
Zero.
okay. Never mind.
Yeah. Hey, I
Yeah,
healed the same I took damage
But
from.
make sure you mark
Nice.
off your hit dice too. So easiest way to
Yeah.
do that is be a
Yeah.
short rest.
Yeah. All right. So based off dexterity, you hear Rock, give out this order. Marb, you use your turn to run through the wind wall and get safe. I guess I should technically take the dodge action off everybody now. So next in order would be Al. What are you doing?
I'm still dodging.
Can
I never did anything
Okay.
that wasn't that wasn't. Yeah. Oops.
Gotcha.
can I ready an action such that when one of my party members answers a question, I can use a spell? Yeah.
What
So-
question? It needs to be a little bit more specific.
So since I didn't understand quite what Rock said, I'm gonna be like, does anybody know what they mean, new and old? What do I hit? And I
Okay,
want
so
to ready.
when you get clarity of what to hit.
Yes.
All right,
And
cool.
Can I ready a shatter?
Yeah, but know that if you ready a spell and you don't use it, you still consume
Still
it.
fizzle. Mhm.
It'll fizzle. So yeah, so the blue dot means that you got something ready.
Okay, cool.
All right. So next in order would be Calisaur, then Davis.
1 second.
And Cal, as you see it, like some of the wisps are starting to kind of fly up, right? Like they got dispersed and they're starting to up over.
Okay, I would try and explain to Al the difference. Is there like a
They
like,
are visually
clear?
different.
Are they visually different and like more?
I will allow you to imagine how they are different, and that can be what it is.
Okay, so I'd just be like the twisted ones have like a more like deeper blue to them and are a little more like swirling mist color to them,
Yeah.
whereas the ones that are been cleansed like are a little more not as murky, and there's
Mhm.
not like swirling in them, kind of.
Yeah. So I'll with that I'll kind of help you play off of that. So as he's kind of giving you that definition, Al, you see it. The ones that have been zapping you very much are like puffs of gas, right? And there's that little bit of electricity kind of through them. And as you're kind of training your eyes around, you see that there's some other ones that are more like smaller, like they're more focused. Their core is more dense, and they have a few orbitals just kind of around them, going in all different. And those are the ones that stand out. Now that you see it, you're like, okay, yeah, I see it. It's obvious.
I'm gonna say out loud, I hope I'm doing this right. And
Right.
20? Yeah, I'd maybe a little more out so it doesn't hit any of us.
So
but-
you'll hit like 4 of these guys right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Con saves, right?
Sorry, level 3, yes.
Oh geez. Okay.
Alligator don't fuck around,
Nice,
man.
No, I hate these guys.
All
I hate
right.
most things, but
Wow.
these
Right.
especially.
Be this guy.
Fail. I think they all failed. I think maybe one passed. I don't know what spellcasting. 15. One passed. So this one passed.
Ah.
Go ahead and roll damage.
No, I especially hate that one.
Oh,
nice.
It's a good thing you upcast it for that extra 1 damage.
Triclops? Tattered?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Too bad you don't have the same feat that Angie got, or that Grant has.
I mean, you guys can only have so many
Yeah, yeah,
feats,
yeah.
right?
I need brutal spells.
It's reliable spells. Yeah, so as you kind of release this like gong, right? As you kind of focus, you see him and you go bringing the hammer down. The wind wall actually kind of like bellows in for a little bit for from the sheer impact. And you see that typically when you hit them, at least in the previous fight, that when you hit them, they popped. All of these ones are still kind of just there.
Ah, this worked a lot better in my dream. Whatever that was.
Yeah. All right, Davis, your turn.
Can I? Because
Oh.
I just like responded to.
Sure.
I just like to. What is the other zombie that's still on the map down there?
Oh, she was the female that you saw. I don't know. Yeah, you would have seen her because you had the vision. She's the one that was a female standing out top of the hill fighting, and eventually she was brought down as like a ghast kind of grabbed her hair and pulled her down and then she was viciously just ripped like chest apart.
She might
Okay.
have a magic great sword somewhere.
Is she making her way towards us?
Yeah, she is, but she seemed to be like had been further away. So
Right. Okay. That's mostly just I would want to like
Mhm.
keep an eye on her. And yeah, that my responding to Al can be my turn.
Okay, cool. Davis.
So these are the bad ones then? The ones that are like right here? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't tell. Am I close enough to that one, or do I need to get a little bit closer?
closer. There we go. Just because they're kind of
Yeah,
floating
okay,
as well.
makes
All right.
sense. Alright, then yeah, I'll smack that one.
All right. Goodbye, dodge action.
Yep, goodbye dodge action for sure. I didn't say Great Weapon Master, so the first one will be not Great Weapon Master, and it's 26 to hit. I imagine that probably hits.
That definitely hits, even with their unnatural.
Oh yeah, they're super dexy. I
Dexterity.
forgot about that. 13 damage.
Oh yeah, you pop, pop. As you give it a good mighty cleave, you strike it, and you see as you do, you tween it in half, which is an impressive feat because this thing is so small, and then it just kind of and this little of like energy releases. Excuse me. All right, what else would you like to do?
Can I get this one too, or do I need to move for that one as well?
No, it's in range. We'll say it's in range.
Since that other one was so easy to hit. Well, actually, I also didn't take that much damage to kill it, so I'm just gonna do regular. 14 to hit.
Misses. As you go, it gets kind of you swing again, kind of more confident with like return strike, and it just goes. And you kind of remember, oh, these buggers are so fast. But then, as the one that was split, one of those more clear with little orbitals kind of flies by, and as that little mote of energy is released, it kind of one of the orbitals swings and just like picks it up and adds it to its own little orbital.
I think that's good.
All right.
Hold on. Bonus action. I'll tell Grant to hit something. Grant,
Sure.
hit this thing over here. It's not the ball, the other ball.
Let me put it up front.
The other ball. Got it.
There you go. What the heck? Why? I said literally put in
Grant will
front.
kill
Why
it
are
in a
you not
second
in front?
anyway. Don't worry about it.
All right, fine. All right, so this is using your reaction to smack smack. Yeah, so if you use a reaction, I'm going to put a orange dot. Yep, that hits.
Nice.
Oh, and then Al, you don't have a reaction right now. Oop. Used it. Let's go ahead and shillelagh it.
Full damage.
Pop. And you see one of these just zoop. And same thing, kind of quickly zoots over and then just starts collecting it into its orbital.
Nice. I think we're helping. I don't understand.
Okay. The slightly fluffier one. Is that what I'm going
Yes. Does that look right?
The poofy one. That one.
Mm-hmm.
for? Got it.
All right, so Mother Wisp will kind of do that, and then more of these ones will start rushing towards her. Zoom, zoom, and then these ones will try to get through and kind of get bounced around. Zoom, zoom, zoom. All right, Marb, you're on deck. What are you gonna do? As Mama's just calling all the wispies.
I want to shoot zombie guy over here real quick.
Okay.
Because he's the last undead that I can see off. And remember,
Mm-hmm.
there are 4 over here that are these 4. These 4, and then, yeah. I'm gonna shoot that one, and then with my first, just to try to kill him, and then with the other one, I want to kill a little evil wispy wisp.
All right. So as you go, and you notch your arrow and you release it, you realize, oh shit, wind wall. Your arrow hits it and just gets carried up and just flies off to the distance somewhere. Just gone.
Bananas. I yell, Rock, look out! An arrow just flew up in the sky, and I have a good feeling it's gonna fall down and stab you in the neck. like some deja vu,
Actually,
something
wait,
like that
did
happened.
Rob get shot in the neck?
On a 1, it'll happen.
No,
Okay,
no, no. I
that's
meant
happened.
like, did the time rewind before that happened or not?
No, it happened during the vision. So he actually. never
Yeah, it
got
was
shot.
the weird vision.
Yeah.
But can I still shoot over here?
Yeah, you can shoot over here if you wish. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shoot. Which one's the more threatening one? Is this one like bothering rock? No, too
Possibly.
close.
I mean.
I shoot just this one,
Okay.
just to be safe. D20 plus. 9. No sharpshooter or anything. I'll save that. Actually, no, let's not sharpshoot. But can I use my bonus action first to move my hunter's mark on the
you
dead
certainly
guy?
can. Yeah.
Wait, I always forget. Yeah. I can use bonus action to move it,
Mm-hmm.
and then shooty so I can get him. Okay. I assume that hits.
Oh yeah. It hits, but not like by a large margin.
2d8.
It's just kind of.
Gotta pop it like a balloon. +4 and then 7.
This is not injured, so you don't get your Colossal Slayer. But I'll remove it if I
Yeah.
need to.
Let's make sure. Go. So 15 damage.
Yep. As you do, and you feel the mark make its connection, and you wait. It takes you a moment because it keeps zipping around, and then eventually it kind of seems to get in a lull by the mother's call. Pop. Boop. You arrow strikes true, and it pops.
Sweet.
Nice, your
And
turn.
then I'm gonna try to reposition. There's like weird shadows in the middle of the tree.
Mm-hmm. It's just from some of it's like the branches and stuff, and that's intentional. It's kind of intentional.
I'm just perusing around to see
Yeah.
where I can see a little bit better. Sorry.
No, you're good. I understand. Yeah, it's hard for you because you don't have the best vision either. So like
Yeah.
shadows.
No, but
more.
these ones are coming up. Never mind. I'll just stay there.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
good.
All right. Al, that's your reaction back. Boop.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
Here's another shatter. I did get level 2 back. Yeah, I think I'll fall back towards rock.
Okay.
And yeah, at the end, more of the misty wispy.
Alright.
I'll drop a level 2 shatter on him.
All right. Thing kind of where? All right. So yeah, go ahead.
15 con.
All right. Go ahead and roll my damages. I know a couple more. All right. Yeah. So with that,
Much better.
pop, 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 pop,
Oh wow,
Pop.
that's a really good damage.
pop. And then you see these ones kind of. They quickly kind of fly into the space and start.
Oh. Yeah, these things are weird. And I guess I'll give a bardic inspiration to Rock.
Rock still has his. He's still flexing.
Oh yeah, that was
That's really
before. Okay. Damn. Okay, then Davis.
All right. Davis, you can flex. Mark off a bardic inspiration, and we'll go to Calisaur, then Davis.
I will go ahead and just cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
Um,
Mark off the appropriate spell level.
yeah, and I heal for. I'm just gonna roll it in
Mhm.
beyond. Heal for 14.
All right.
Good old materia cure wounds.
Yep. And then Calsor, as you kind of, put your hand on your chest and kind of take a deep breath, and you feel that little inkling of nature kind of fill you with some energy. You can't help but your eyes are training down where there's a cluster of wisps, and you see Hans kind of just scuttling by and around. And then your eyes kind of train out, and you see that same little apparition of a tinkering little kobold working, and then again its eyes get wide, and then nothing. All right, Davis, your turn.
Smacking the things that are near me. That's what I do.
All right.
Smack and smack. I will Greater Weapon Master the first one. 15, I think.
What was the
50,
roll?
Yeah, it's 15.
Yeah, 15 will miss.
Then second one, I will not Greater Weapon Master. 13, yikes.
We'll miss. Yeah, Davis, you're just
Oh my god, these things
you're
won't sit
going to
still, huh? Marb, you want to shoot one of these?
You sure we want to do that?
Take your pick.
All right, go
I guess
ahead.
we don't know what happened last time.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
was
you all
17.
saw it. No, it happened in your collective illusion.
Oh, that's a good point. Like we all.
You all
Illusion.
experienced it together, yeah. You don't necessarily maybe realize this just yet because you haven't had a chance to talk about it. But
Honestly,
yeah.
though, Davis just thinks like, oh shit, nice.
Oh.
All right, I'm not gonna make you roll.
It
Just
million damages.
because it's kind of fun and it's a crit. These things are tiny. Your arrow, as you find one, you release it, and it kind of nicks the edge of the wind wall, and it gets like you kind of planned it, and it accelerates it, and it just goes pop, pop, pop as your arrow kind of goes through 3 of these little
Oh,
wisps. And whew,
Got him.
might as well reward it. And then like 2 of the little other ones go, and start kind of selecting this little
Oof, man,
little
I'm glad
motes
you
every
got-
time these ones.
glad you got an enemy with this one. Last, I mean, I thought.
Yeah, I'm still a little hesitant to shoot because of what happened, but
All right, Rock,
let's get
your
my
turn.
confidence back.
Confidence. You
There's like
sense. Go ahead.
3 right near me, right?
This one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, one that you know is immediately threatening.
Yeah, but I'm for kind of like for area. If I would, I'm gonna magnify gravity.
Okay.
Second level, try to hit all the ones near me without hitting this. I do not want to hit this guy.
How
So,
big
like-
is it? 20?
It is 10 feet. 10 feet sphere.
Yeah, you can hit 4 of them easily if you kind of like put it just roughly here.
Okay.
I mean, that's roughly a 10-foot sphere when it
10-foot
pings.
radius, though.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So, like, I will cast for. I do not want to hit any of the.
Yeah, so at best you'll hit 3. Really. Am I right on that, Davis?
Can't tell. I don't have the vision. I can see this one,
Oh.
this one.
There.
I mean, you can put a template down, right? I think.
No, I don't have templates in this, remember?
Oh.
I guess I could draw a shape.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that'd be those 3. Yeah, go for it. That'd be your best shot.
Okay. Con 15 safe.
All right. At least you guys know what to hit. Save. 2 save, 1 fail. You rolled well on that. And let me know the damages. And mark up your spell slot, please. And then Grant, you're on deck.
Okay, I rolled pretty well. 8 and 5. 13.
13. Yeah. Well, these ones, 2 of them managed to kind of get obliterated. The other one, and you see, like, again, these little
Wait.
morph.
I owe that another dice, actually.
Did you upgrade?
Okay.
17 total.
Okay. We'll just say for the remedy, that one gets popped. Okay. And you see, again, the more clear, condensed wisps kind of immediately fly over and they catch the moat and act themselves. And then it would be Grant and then the mother wisp.
Grant's probably just staying close to the group. Takes like a dodge action, I guess.
Okay.
Just kind of hangs out. I don't think there's anything else he can do with the one. He's not going to run out into the water or anything like that. So
Yeah, I get you. So you're just holding it.
that's his
All right. And as you do, and it goes over to the mother wisp, she kind of starts drifting a little bit lower, and you hear a different kind of. It's still low because of just the size. It's still heavy in the base, but it's more high pitched. Still, Rock, you sense positivity in a sense. And then all the little clarity wisps just immediately start junting over to some of these unnatural, undead ones. And you see basically kind of like when Dumbledore and Voldemort clash wands, you just see this buildup of energy and they start striking out towards one another. One of like static and another one of like these where it's just a constant stream of these little moty wisps just clashing and clashing, and there's this buildup of energy. Everyone roll me a d20, please. All right.
Womp womp.
1, 2, 3, and Rock. I'm just waiting for you.
To live.
to live.
To live? Question mark. I just saw that. Rock, what's your d20 roll?
CJ.
You're muted, CJ. All right, someone can roll a d20 for CJ.
Wait.
Oh, wait, there we go. Yeah.
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, that's fine.
D20. 12.
Oh, okay, so 4 successes. So as the other wisps start to swarm, and you guys are, Calysaur, you're up, and you kind of observe it better than everyone else who's in the bushes, kind of, peering through and all that. The created wisps are starting to drive and corral the old wisps, and they're starting to be like forced closer and closer to the mother, and then essentially the new wisp and the old wisp start to kind of like do this orbital dance around one another, and then essentially they get kind of flung and then shunted into the mother wisp, and the mother wisp does expand once again, and all these, like, you just see the lights just start to kind of like, the best way I can say it is like there's like pings of like energy which causes like almost like a ripple effect upon her gaseous like form, kind of traveling in different places. You can give me a nature check, Mr. Calysaur. You're not entirely certain what's happening, but the amount of the static-y scary wisps are, over the course of the next like 15, 20 seconds, have all been basically in this area forced back into the mother wisp. And then after a few more minutes, or a few more moments, the clearer wisps start to start coming out. All right, what's everyone doing?
I'll just yell. Are we doing it right? Is this what are we supposed to do? Rock?
I think we helped. And I think now would be a time to leave.
Yeah, is the wind wall still going? If so, then I'll stay here.
I we
Yes,
we
you-
could we could walk
like-
Oh,
through,
we can?
but I could go ahead and lower the wind
Okay,
wall.
yeah.
As soon as
wind
the
wall's
wind
small.
wall goes down, I want to shoot at zombie guy over here.
Okay, go for it.
Just real quick, just like. First, I look up and see if the arrow's gonna fall and stab someone. Okay, we're safe.
I'm assuming
then-
you're gonna hunter's mark it, so go ahead.
Yep. Shooting.
As she's
Oh.
kind of, yeah, you hit. As she's kind of dragging this large, like claymore, kind of with her.
Oh no! Wait.
This was actually a cool piece of art. So let me see. I should see.
This is nice.
Nice.
That's Marv on her shoulder.
Yeah. That's my previous life. Like cousin.
Yeah, you can certainly hit. Go ahead. You can shoot one more arrow.
Oh,
As
this
like
way.
you shoot her and the arrow hits her like where like the arm is and like her forehead.
Hey.
Yeah, you obliterate her.
There goes all my nat 20s for the night. So.
Yeah, so as you shoot her with the first arrow, it lodges in her arm. You gotta bring the bears in. And you like lodge in it.
That's not nice.
Fires arm. Sorry, Marv, yeah, you basically, the second shot is in the head and it just shatters the remaining of her skull and the zombie stops moving essentially and crumbles down. And there,
Rest
we're going
in
to take a really quick break because I need to let the cats in and stuff like that. So go ahead and get a water. We'll come back. And you guys finish. So 10-minute break or so.